Welcome back, you guys. Thanks for coming back. I'm the EFC. This is Behind Stevie, and today I'm here to bring you guys the player ratings after our big 1-0 win against Leicester City that takes us through to the semi-final against Manchester United. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we definitely have some revenge that we need to get back from Man United. I mean, honestly, this season, we've had so many unfortunate games against them. So many things working against our favour, so much context. Now for the first time we have a full strength team, so I love to see what Lampard's solutions are going to be. And after this performance today, I really feel like we can get that positive win against Manchester United and get ourselves into the final of the FA Cup. Now anyway, you guys, before I get into things, if you liked today's video, if you're happy with the win, smash that like button. I want to get over 2,000 likes for today's video. And without wasting any more time, we start with the first player on this list, and that's Willy Caballero in goal. Now, I didn't personally feel like Caballero was really tested too much in front of goal. Now, Leicester caused us a lot of danger time and time again. However, that did not translate into efforts on goal. So in that sense, Caballero was very quiet today. He was tested maybe a few times, maybe set pieces. He had to make those covering saves, just in case. But that didn't really matter because Leicester City's shooting boots weren't really there. So for today, you guys, Caballero is going to score a standard 6 out of 10. We now move on to Reece James, and my score is going to be slightly controversial, so you guys just hear me out for a second. Now, watching the game and looking at the stats afterwards, I don't personally feel that Reece James was bad today. Now, there was big tactical reasons as to why he couldn't get forward into the final third. I'll speak about them in tomorrow's Talking Points video, but I'm going to say very briefly, Leicester City focused all their attacks down the left-hand side. They did that in particular to stop Reece James because teams know he's one of our most dangerous players with how we play. Now, because Reece didn't bomb forward, does that automatically mean that his game was bad? Definitely not. He was tested defensively time and time again. He won countless tackles against Harvey Barnes time and time again. This wasn't a bad performance, and when he got subbed off at half-time, I think that was naturally due to the player obviously not playing any games during the restart, not being fully fit just yet. And if you're asking me, I thought this was a very solid defensive performance. So I'm going to score Reece James a 6.5 out of 10. We now move on to our centre-backs, and I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to review them both together, but give them two different scores. Now, I thought their partnership today was very good. They played a major reason as to why Jamie Vardy was so quiet in front of goal. They used their pace to great effect. They communicated very well, and that was one of the main reasons as to why Vardy did absolutely nothing in this game today. But on top of that, you guys, their passing was very crisp, very sharp, very fast, and I'll understand that some people may think that because there weren't enough forward passes played in midfield, maybe their passing was bad. That wasn't the case, you guys. The game today was played out wide. The game plan from us was to use those passes out from the centre-backs to find the full-backs in wider positions and higher up positions around the halfway line, and obviously use long balls to switch the play so we can get some dominance down a flank on the field, you guys. So their passing was good, their defending was very good, and their partnership looked very good. I'm going to score Rudiger a 7 out of 10 because he wasn't really tested too much defensively, and I'm going to score Kurt Zuma a 7.5 out of 10 because he was tested a lot more defensively. He made some very crucial tackles as well. But overall, you guys, I thought this was a very good partnership. And to complete this back four, we now move on to Emerson. And I think the first immediate thing that was obvious was that Emerson today wasn't tasked with bombing forward and just being that overlapping fullback. Today he played a more supportive role where he had to maybe stay more aligned in the midfield to help us progress the ball and move it further field. So I thought in that sense, his tactical duties were fulfilled very well. I thought defensively, he was good. He gave us a platform too, and there were no mistakes in the player's game. I thought this was a pretty solid performance, and I'm going to score Emerson a 6.5 out of 10. We now move on to our midfield three. I'm going to start with young Billy Gilmour, and today it wasn't the best game. Remember, he's still very young, only 19 years old. He hasn't played as many games or got as many minutes. He's still very talented, so just this one-off game doesn't really take away from anything. I thought maybe his pass selection wasn't as great. He was maybe rushing the play too much at times. I thought his positioning too, a bit too close to Kante, and I think against Leicester City, that's the last thing you want to do because you are going to get pressed on that ball. As I stressed in the match review, this is a learning curve. He can only get better from this, but to keep things real and to keep things objective, I'm going to score Billy Gilmour a 5 out of 10. We now move on to Mason Mount. And even though I think he kind of maybe suffered due to the midfield not being super balanced in that first half, I still feel a large part of why he was a bit quiet in the game today came down to stamina issues. He's played a lot of games, very intense too, and I think after a while he started to tire down, and against a very high intense Leicester City team, it was a bit too much of Mason Mount in the end. He still played one key pass even though he wasn't too involved in the game today, and for those reasons he's going to score a standard 6 out of 10. And to complete the midfield, starting with our central defensive midfielder in N'Golo Kante, I thought this was another platform, another reason as to why Kante is meant for this role. Why Kante is meant for this role in Lampard's system and team. The beauty of having a central defensive midfield player is that it allows the two other midfield players to bomb forward and get inside the box, just how Lampard used to do things when he had Makelele behind him, Mikel behind him, etc, etc, and players like him, Balak and Essien had that license to get forward and to attack. Playing this way gets more goals, and when you want two midfield players bombing forwards, you want a guy in behind them who's going to sweep up the danger, block counter-attacks, give the centre-backs that defensive protection too, as well as having the quality to move the ball and find the midfield players in higher up positions. I thought Kante did all of this today. I think it's going to take a while for the fan base to get used to a more not withdrawn performances, but subdued performances due to the nature of the role he's playing. But for me, I thought Kante was solid again, and I'm going to score him a 7 out of 10. We now move on to the left-hand side of our attack, starting with Christian Pulisic. And you guys, wow, how crisp and elegant and sharp was he on the ball. Honestly, he is so silky, the way he just glides on the field. I love players like this who have that touch, who make the game look so beautiful and so easy. As I was saying in the review, I think Christian has his own dribbling style. I don't think it's too reminiscent of an Eden Hazard. I think there's maybe a bit more gentleness to how Christian plays the ball, and just how deft he is when he's skipping past people and cutting inside. This boy looks hungry, you guys. He looks ready. He had that willingness to try and find the net. Most of the positive things we did in the final third came from Christian Pulisic individual runs and efforts. He was winning fouls, he was fighting for the team. I thought he was really good. For those reasons, he is going to score a 7.5 out of 10. Moving on to Willian, and Willian today was good, very good. Oh wow, the way this guy worked so goddamn hard. Not only did he get 2 key passes today, getting the most important one, which was the assist for the Barkley goal. Very good cross inside the box, you guys. Not only that, he also won 5 tackles out of 5. He played a massive part in stemming Ben Chilwell from bombing forward, because in the first half he was looking amazing. And as I keep stressing, whenever we score a goal, most times Willian's involved in the build-up phase for that goal. And after seeing his performances this season, I do think that maybe there should be a discussion in regards to whether we should keep the player instead of letting him leave on a free transfer, you guys. He's very fit, he's very good, and he's very reliable. I'm going to score Willian a 7.5 out of 10. And to complete the first scene, we end things with Tammy Abraham. And, I get the context. It was his first, proper start in that sense. I still personally feel like he's looking a bit rusty. At times, his first touch, especially in the first half, just wasn't really there at times. But as the second half went on, I thought some of Tammy's hold-up play wasn't too bad. It was quite decent. I think he needs more time until he's fully there, fully matched up. But for today, for his efforts, I'm going to score him a 6 out of 10. We now move on to the subs, starting with Azpilicueta. And to be honest, you guys, I think he really profited in that second half from a Leicester City that weren't as intense as they were in the first half. Especially down that left-hand side. They were not playing with that same gung-ho, just attacking nature like they did in the first half. And in that sense, Azpi defensively wasn't really involved too much. And defensively, I thought it was just nice and supportive. When I say that he just eclipsed Reece James, I definitely don't think so. As I keep stressing, tactics played a massive part. If you guys don't want to hear it from me, I guarantee you'll find it in reviews on the internet, tactical analysis pieces, etc, etc. But for today, I'm going to score Azpilicueta a 6.5 out of 10. Moving on to Ross the Boss Barkley, and listen, he came on, the positives were his pressing was good, his intensity was good, his runs in behind and the right channel too were good. They were the type of runs that I wasn't seeing from Mason Mount in the first half, and naturally due to that, we got the first goal. and he deserved it. And I think he deserved the goal due to his form throughout the previous games, you guys. He has been very good, and I'll confidently admit that. However, as the game was going on, especially when we had opportunities to seal the deal and obviously, win this game comfortably, the passing decisions in the final thirds weren't good enough. And I think obviously for a team going to the next level, you need players that are going to execute those passes time and time again. I'm going to score Ross Barkley a 7 out of 10. Moving on to Mateo Kovacic, and for me, this guy had a very big impact when he was brought into midfield. He was showing us all the things that we weren't seeing from Billy Gilmore in that sense. Most importantly, the physicality, the strength, and the press resistance to bypass Leicester City's press, which was needed. Kovacic looked confident. He looked ready. We were seeing the source, the skills, the first touch of the outside of the boot, the little flick pass, near the corner flag on the right hand side too. We were seeing him express himself, and it's why Lampard really likes the player. And obviously this is why I'm happy we signed him, because I feel like he's going to be like a great player for the squad for next season. I'm going to score Kovacic a 7.5 out of 10. And when it comes to your Pedros and Rubens, I'm going to score them a standard 6 out of 10. They never got too much game time. Both players still aren't fully match fit or match sharp in that sense too. And there really isn't too much to speak about. But to end things, you guys, I'm going to score Frank Lampard, our manager. And the score I'm going to give Super Frank is a Super 8. We're seeing time and time again, he knows how to change the direction and complexion of a game with the right substitutions. He always knows the right solutions to help us get back into a game and start competing again. He's a top class manager. His players fight for him too. He brings out the intensity. We play a great style of football. And what I love the most is that whenever he makes a mistake, he knows how to fix it, and he fixes it very quickly. But anyway, you guys, on that note, I'm going to wrap things up and keep things moving. It's been a good day today. Another win versus a big team. I'm feeling confident. This was the period where the fan base was very nervous, very tentative, really feeling like we weren't going to get much of anything. But as I keep stressing, we are Chelsea fans. We never, ever, ever give up on this team. And on that note, you guys, I'm going to wrap things up. I'm the EFC. This is Blue Lions TV. I'll see you guys later with some more videos.